Okay, Friday afternoon. We're just going to dive into the charts real quick. And to be honest, I think the most of this video is going to be covering kind of why you should follow a plan and how to follow your plan. So let's dive straight into that. And yeah, markets are pumping, but that's not what we're quite here for. Let's just dive into that right now. Perfect. So in terms of trading your plan, and the reason for making these videos largely because I think a lot of people struggle with this, including I used to struggle with this myself very heavily, which is having a plan or seeing something in the market. So I remember on my video, which was a few days ago, so the market outlook, where I covered Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol, I was looking for two things. I was either looking, and we were somewhere right here, and I was looking for either this to round out and just come down to these lows slowly, like this, and then coming to fill these wicks more or less, retesting it and going up from here. Or, and I believe I said that I was one of the options. I know I said it was one of the options, but I found it to be unlikely to just slowly drift up or just go straight up from here. What happened to be occurring was that did happen. So I think the main strategy, which was either go down from here, and I wasn't short on that. I am hedged, but I wasn't short on that per se, like over leveraged or leveraged at all. Well, leveraged shorts, yes, but not like leveraged in terms of compared to my longs, right? So just essentially hedged. My plan essentially was reclaims, right? And I believe I said this on Twitter. I said this in the video. So it would have to be reclaiming these levels, setting up this nicer structure, and slowly claiming these levels and going up. So this is still what I'm waiting for on BTC. So if that is your strategy, and that's kind of what this video is about, if that's your plan, if that's what you're looking for, then stick with that plan, right? So I saw a bunch of breakouts. I put it on Twitter. I saw things like WorldCoin coming in with this kind of pattern, which happened to be a pattern I played a few months ago, similar market conditions where everything was just pennanting, right? And I can draw up a ton of these right now, right? TRB, which was an amazing move today. I was not one of them, but there was numerous of these charts that kind of look like this. Here's kind of another one, right? And if I just draw this up, you can see that it's more or less the same type of pattern here. And this goes on, and this is kind of like a pennant, upwards pennant structure. This was kind of just like a range reclaim where it was ranging. Wu was a similar one, I believe. I had drawn up right here, and I'm gonna draw this with the wrong tool, but we can go with that, right? And so on, right? So there's a bunch of these patterns that were kind of accumulation patterns, etc., forming up. And my plan was essentially play these breakouts, which I did on certain coins. Unfortunately, I did play it only on spot on WorldCoin, so I'm still in this one right now, and wherever it was exactly, I'm unsure. But you get the point, more or less, whatever. That's poor drawing of it. But that was my strategy: play these breakouts, or play reclaims, or play both. And I did play both in the end, and or I'm still waiting for reclaims on BTC, right? So that's kind of the point of this video as well. So to say, hey, look, so if my plan is actually to play these reclaims and play this flippening, so to speak, so flip this level and see if I can position myself long here for this upwards move, then I'm going to stick to that. And rather than just seeing, hey, it's all uptrending now, and now we're, let's say, grab a nice coin, grab, layer 0 and say, okay, this was forming up. We didn't have reclaims. I did play this one time. I played this somewhere down here for this move, and then I closed it out around here. Because the reason I close these moves, even though I'd love to swing like 0 up to these highs, with probably coming up to 7.2 in my opinion, right? We're probably going to reach around here is my current estimation based on, I think it was, this more or less. So I was looking for somewhere up here at 7.3 on the Fibonacci. So this was kind of the level I was looking for, and I was trying to play this, and I played it from here to here, which was like, I think an 8% move or something, and I had a nice long on it, but I closed rapidly, right? So why I closed it rapidly was because of the fact that Bitcoin had not followed my plan of reclaiming these levels. And in fact, it just kept chopping up and looking weak. Now, I believe it seems very likely to me that this just rejects and we continue to chop it up for a bit longer, because I think this is where a lot of people are getting excited right now. Now, this could come over here and we could just do the reclaim and start uptrending it, and that'd be fantastic. And this would be my trigger to start going long on these alts, including something like layer 0, where I'm looking for the swing position up to that 7.3 level. You know, here's one of these charts like Tau that I want to play to the upside. I believe I actually did play this. Was it Tau or was it Pendle I played? I'm actually not too sure. It might have been Pendle. No, it was Tau. I played this to the upside somewhere here on this breakout. Closed it around probably here. I remember it was a big down move and I closed that out. And in the end, it's a much bigger move that I could have played. And that's fine by me, because the fact is that my strategy was to play these breakouts like Pendle, right, out of this pennant structure, right, or like Tau rather, out of this structure, play it to the upside as a swing. But the conditions for that were either continuous strength on this coin, so something like what TRB is doing, right, so a breakout that just rips, or something I think WorldCoin is doing that right now, where we had this structure. I'm just roughly drawing it, whatever it was exactly. Yeah, this was not exactly it, but you know what? I'm just going to draw it properly for you guys so you guys can see what I would be more or less looking at. So something like this, and I don't believe this was exactly it. I don't know how I had it, but in the beginning of this video, you can see how I had it actually drawn out. This is a little bit unfortunate that I'm having to draw it in hindsight, because that is not what it looked like. But yeah, whatever. Point is, I believe I played this here. I wanted to play this here, and it just kind of went up only from there, 18%. These breakouts is what I'd be looking to play, but on Tau, which I played, we had this chop down, which for me was like, okay, this is not showing the strength I would want it to show right now. And in light of my plan on BTC, which is the leading performer for the industry, wanting to see this actually continue to the upside, meanwhile it was chopping, I didn't have the confidence to hold that long as a swing position. In the end, hindsight, I could have held it, sure, but I was already in profit. I made the profit I wanted, etc. Close it out, leave it where it's at. That's that, right? So that more or less covers it. If you have a plan on BTC or any coin and you say this is what I'm looking for, and you see market conditions shifting in the favor of just longing blindly, that doesn't mean you should start longing blindly, because you had an initial plan. And if that's your initial plan, you should probably just stick with that and see it out, right? So for me, I could start longing a bunch of shit now because BTC has been pumping, right? So because of this move, which is from down here somewhere, you know, I think somewhere here was my last video, you know, it's up 5%. I could say fucking, you know, TRX has moved a lot, but it looks like it's not moving. Let me fucking toss in along here, right? Ton looks beautiful. You know, on the higher time frame, 4 hour stuff, it looks amazing. You could just toss in along here. You know, it's reclaimed structures. It's still an uptrend. You know, toss one of these on. And this is probably a good trade. The fact is, I'm going to stay waiting until BTC flips this, except the breakouts plays that I have open right now, which is 4 positions, I believe. I'm not going to be doing that, right? Here's another. This was a beautiful one, by the way. This was a fantastic pennant breakout as well on ADA, right? Something like this. And it just broke out, retested, right? So this is just perfect on the 1 hour, right? So it literally just breaks out of it with relative strength here on this candle, retests it, and just rips. And what is this, 14% or something, I believe, you know, since the breakout point. Yeah. So that kind of covers it, right? So you could, my strategy was play these breakouts and wait for reclaims to indicate strength. We didn't have any reclaims. We're still waiting at the top of the range, and you should just be playing that strength that you, or that plan that you kind of put out for yourself in the beginning. Wait on that plan of take formation and pull the triggers as such. No need to rush it or see the FOMO of the 29% move on TRB and that you're just like, fucking, what if, you know, what if AMP moves and does another one of these and I'm not in it, right? What if this moves, and this is what I posted today on my trading channel, this thing moves sporadically. Like, you could catch this move and you catch it to the upside and you catch it to here, right? And that could be a trade that you want to take right now. But the fact is, if that's not your plan and your plan is to wait for that reclaim on BTC like it is mine, currently, then wait, right? It's as simple as that. That's your plan. Stick to that plan. Make a plan every week, every Sunday. I would prefer doing it on Sunday or Monday morning. Go sit down an hour, make that trading plan. What are you looking for this week? What are the key levels you're looking for? What do you think is going to happen? And it's not about predicting. It's about just having that strategy, having that plan in place that you're like, these are the conditions under which I want to trade. These are my triggers. If those triggers don't get hit, then leave it at that. Next week, I can reassess the market. This is not particularly to say that you shouldn't be reassessing, right? Like theoretically, right? If I made my last video somewhere here and I saw this as a potential down move, just continuing a downtrend, and I saw this move, this change of structure, I did reassess my plan and start playing more breakouts, right? That's why I have 4 open positions. But that was already part of my plan. Playing breakouts from these pennant structures was already part of my plan since last week. Somewhere last week, you can see on my Twitter that I tweeted about it. You can see my Telegram, I tweeted about it, or I posted about it on my Telegram group, that was already part of my plan, right? Playing breakouts was part of my plan, and seeing reclaims would be indicating strength. Although currently I'm not looking for more longs until BTC proves that this top of the range is no longer resistance. So there's no point for me to be looking at laggards right now and looking at AMP and saying, okay, this one is only up 1%, while Tau, Rune, everything is up 9 to 10%. Let me go and play this, right? Let me form some type of weird pennant that I'm seeing myself and play this with a stop loss here and try to play this as a breakout. Now, is it going to happen? Maybe if Bitcoin flips, I'm missing out on this opportunity where AMP does a big move. That is perfectly fine, right? So currently my plan was, or is, look for this reclaim, see that Bitcoin is reclaiming this and breaking out of it. That would be my trigger to long on alts as well as on BTC. And that's that simple, right? So I'm still following the same plan as last week. It's currently Friday. Sunday, I'm going to reassess. If this just forms this resistance here, you getting overexcited because of these moves is going to get you chopped up, right? If you start longing right here in this, at this point where we are, you're going to get chopped up, and you're going to be longing Rune over here on this on the 15-minute chart, because this is going to do this. And you're going to be like, let me long this here. And Bitcoin is going to see resistance, going to come back down. And you're going to have a trade that was absolutely nonsensical in hindsight because your plan was never this, right? So that more or less, I hope that makes sense. I hope I explained that correctly. I'm kind of ranting right now just because I want to get this video out, make it short. And it ended up being 12 minutes. So, yeah, that's more or less plans and strategy, how to play your plan, or just play your plan, right? Why should you play your plan? Why should you play your strategy? Why should you have a plan? Why should you have a strategy? And yeah, I hope that all made sense. I will see you guys around, and have a good weekend. I'll be back on Monday or Tuesday with another market outlook covering probably the strongest altcoins, BTC and ETH. And yeah.